Good morning, gentlemen. We're just about ready to take Russia turn seven, but the game is at such an integral point that I think it's a good idea for us to do a global troop count, take a peek at it, make sure we get it all proper, because it'd be a damn pity if this game fell off the rails because of some misunderstanding. So let's start. We'll start left to right. The U.S. There's nothing in Central. In eastern United States, there are 2 tanks, 1 artillery, 1 AA, 4 infantry. We have 4 transports in 101. The British have a newly placed destroyer in 106. The Americans have an artillery in Venezuela, a transport in 89, a transport in 65, 1 tank in Chile. There's still 1 Argentinian in Argentina. There's a transport in 85, a strat and a fighter in Brazil. In CZone 91, there's 2 carriers with 4 fighters. 1, 2, 3 should be 6 transports, 3 destroyers, and a cruiser in 91. There's an infantry and artillery in Portugal. There's a British infantry in Spain, as well as 3 American infantry, a tank, a mech, 2 artillery. There's an AA gun in Morocco. The Americans have a mechanized unit in Libya. The British have 1 infantry in Tobruk. They have a transport in 82 that came from 91. I see nothing here at all. There's an artillery in Malta. It looks like the British have a destroyer and a transport in 81. Saudi Arabia, they have an infantry, an artillery, a mech, and a tank. Transjordan, they have 2 fighters and an infantry. Iraq, they have 2 mechs. Persia, they have a fighter, 2 tanks. There are 2 Frenchmen in eastern Persia, and there's a British transport in 80. We'll draw the line there for now. There are 8 Turks in Turkey, 1 tank for Germany in the Caucasus. In Greece, the Italians have a AA gun and 4 infantry. There are 2 American subs in 97. There's an Italian sub and 2 destroyers in 97 as well. The Germans in Rome have 1 fighter and 1 tactical bomber. And the Italians have 4 fighters, 2 AA, and 6 infantry. There's nothing in northern Italy. In southern France, there's a German AA gun, 3 Italian infantry, 2 Italian tanks, 1 Italian artillery. In Paris, there's 4 infantry, 4 artillery, 1 mech, 1 tank. Switzerland has 3 infantry. There are 12 infantry in western Germany, 1 tank, 3 AA, and 1 fighter. Germany has a destroyer in 113, a sub in 125, a sub in 119, and a sub in 109. In London, there's a French fighter, 2 mechs, 1 artillery, 5 AA guns, 2 French infantry, and 6 British infantry. Moving along, we have 7 infantry in Sweden for Germany. They have 2 transports in 115, 3 infantry, 2 artillery in Baltic states, 2 infantry, 1 tank in Leningrad, 3 infantry, 1 artillery in Archangel, 1 infantry in Smolensk. I believe we did Belarus. It's 1 artillery, 4 infantry. Eastern Poland, 1 tank. Romania, 1 tank. Western Ukraine, 6 tanks, 2 infantry, 1 AA gun, and a factory. The Italians own Ukraine. There's nothing there but a factory. The Germans have a tank in Bryansk. In Rostov, there are 2 fighters, 4 tactical bombers, 1 Italian strat bomber, 3 German mechs, 5 Italian tanks, 1 Italian infantry, and 1 Italian AA gun. Stalingrad has 1 Italian artillery. Again, there's a tank in Caucasus. In Tambov, there's 1 infantry, 1 artillery for Germany. Samara has 6 Russian infantry and an AA. Kazakhstan has 2 British tanks and a British mech. In Moscow, there are 6 infantry, 8 artillery, 11 tanks, 3 mechs, 3 AA, 2 fighters, 1 TAC, and I believe there's a British strat bomber there as well. There's one Chinese infantry in Qinghai with one fighter. In Kansu, there's one Japanese tank and one Japanese mech. There's a Japanese mech in Seiyuan. They have one strap bomber in Anhui. In Yunnan, they have one infantry, one mech, one artillery. In Guangxi, there are 4 fighters, 2 tanks, one strap bomber, and an airbase. Indochina, the Japanese have 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 AA, 1 tank. There's a fighter in Malaya. There is 2 infantry in Sumatra. There's a French destroyer in 38. The British have 1 artillery in Burma. They have 13 infantry in India, as well as 2 artillery, 2 tanks, 5 AA. There's a battleship and 2 cruisers in 37. There's a destroyer in 42, 1 infantry in Java, 1 artillery in Celebes, 3 empty carriers in 36, as well as a battleship and 5 transports. There's 1 transport in 35, infantry in Palau, 2 infantry in New Guinea, 1 Anzac sub in 45, another one in 56, 1 Anzac infantry in New Guinea. The Americans have 4 infantry, 1 mech, 1 AA gun in Caroline Islands. Anzac has 1 infantry in South Australia, 1 infantry and 1 strap bomber in New South Wales. In Queensland, they have 4 fighters, 4 infantry, 2 mechs, 2 tanks, 2 AA guns. There's not a fighter in Guam. Japan has 3 mechs in Shanghai, 1 infantry, 1 AA in Korea, 1 fighter, 1 TAC in Japan, as well as 2 AA, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. They have 2 destroyers and a sub in Season 6, 1 infantry in Iwo Jima. The Russians have 5 infantry in Sakar. In Season 26, there are 3 destroyers, 2 subs. On Hawaii, there's 2 infantry, an AA, an artillery, and 2 fighters. Season 10 has a destroyer and a transport. And Western United States has a fighter, a tank, and 2 mechs. I believe that's the whole world. And I don't believe we've missed anything. If we have, bring it to my attention, but that's the troop count. Yeah, that's it.